I wonder what police is like in Japan. What the heck? They're putting the criminal to work? Oh. Hello fellow anime geeks and welcome to another first impression on my journey to try all the things. Here's my usual 4-question structure, and today I have a seinen manga adaptation for you guys, Hakozume, Koban Joshi no Gyakushuu, which roughly translates to something like Box Girl, the counterattack of the police box girls, but it's just simply titled Police in a Pod for us English-speaking folks on Foodie. The male genre tags are comedy and slice of life and a police theme, and while I would say that this is definitely very funny throughout, I wouldn't necessarily call the main genre a comedy. I feel like it starts off sweet to kind of reel you in, you know, the criminals are nice, problems aren't really all that big, but then it just quickly turns into this deeper kind of snapshot on humanity, kind of like Ikebukuro Westgate Park. From episode 2, we already begin to see darker problems, death, more traumatic crime, and yet it is somehow able to, in between all of that, intersperse moments of levity, and it's just full of funny insights into the sort of everyday duties of the Japanese police box officer. It's kind of like a warmer, tamer version of Cops, which is just long periods of inactivity punctuated with like sudden chase and surprising depth. This is definitely a human drama slice of life. Our protagonist is this very normal girl. She just has a very realistic outlook on life and wants a steady income job in the civil service, and her aptitude test leads her to join the police force. Now, she starts off pretty whiny and unhappy. It's clear that her job wasn't exactly what she thought it was going to be, but we begin to see her change of heart as she starts training under a new mentor to become just a tiny bit less whiny. And this is actually another way that this writer was able to insert fun and uncertainty into the usual monotony of slice of life. Her mentor has actually just been demoted from the criminal investigations unit because she was too tough on a different rookie. So we don't quite know her full backstory yet, and that adds a lot of fun tension to the dynamic between the two, between our protagonist and her mentor, as they have to go and encounter all of these cases, from the mundane to the dangerous. And that's your new teacher. Get along! I like the writing in this. I personally found it more compelling than Ikebukuro Westgate Park, which I felt was a very similar type of story, just with a more underground, noble vigilante gang, street gang, than the police force. But I felt like the little snapshots, the little human stories that were in Hakozume were better written, or at least better depicted in their anime adaptations. I felt like they were more believable, they were more realistic, or also, maybe I'm just like a sucker for the lighter tone. This show also just really makes you think sometimes. For example, I was really not liking this one gag. It felt like it was sort of pointless male bashing, but that whole storyline ended up turning into something like a celebration of our differences, our different strengths and weaknesses, and it ended up making me laugh really hard. I maybe should have trusted the author a little bit more, but I didn't realize this was a seinen upon first watch. On a lighter note, I also really liked the eye catches. I thought it was really cute to include the funny extra frames from the manga. I really liked the opening song, also very cute, and I thought it was really clever to include the police siren in the production. I'm also just a sucker for quickly delivered lyrics. But just kind of a quick PSA, I wouldn't expect the cute girl, fan servicey, slice of life sort of anime that the opening song seemed to advertise, because that's not the show at all. Like this intro song, but that was quite the booty shot. So I think that this is worthwhile. I'm not personally super into slice of life, but I felt like there was enough personal growth and intelligent humor in this that I was actually entertained, and it was surprisingly emotional and moving at times. I mean, if you don't cry in episode 3, then you're a lot tougher than I am, but that's not saying much, so don't be too complimented. It's at least a good comfort anime to kind of have going on in the background, particularly if you're watching something else that's like really stressful right now. And I'm actually kind of surprised that it's not doing so well on Mal, but you know, maybe that'll change as people start watching it more. And on that note, I'll catch you in the next video. That was the strangest exchange. I just did a pamphlet. shot. It's right over there. That's not a good compliment. You're as pretty as a porn star.